Hey guys, if you want to see how I got my eyebrows to look like this, keep on watching. So I start off by putting a little bit of got-to-be gel on my brow hairs to keep them up. As you can see, they are standing upright. I do this to get them out of the way so that I'm able to clean the bottom part of my brows freely. This really helps if you have sparse brows or thick brows. Regardless, it's gonna make it easier for you to clean up the brows. So I go in with a little bit of concealer and a flat brush. And what I do is I put the excess concealer on the top of the cover of the concealer container so that I have my brush looking like this, flat and has a little bit of concealer on it. I will list the products that I'm using down below, so do not worry about that. Anyway, I'm just cleaning up the bottom of my brows, just following the shape. You can follow the shape of your actual brow or the shape that you desire. So this is what I'm doing now. As you can see, the brow hairs are sticking up there and they do not distract you from creating the actual brow shape that you want. So this gives you a very clean looking brow. I hope that this makes sense to you guys. The next step that I take is to buff the concealer into the bottom part of my brows just to make it a little bit smoother. As you can see, I'm doing soft tapping motions and I'm using a deluxe crease brush from Real Techniques. You're just going to keep patting the product and spreading it apart so that it is as evenly distributed below your brow as much as possible. I'm also going to go in with a translucent powder and a fluffy brush. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of powder, dust off the excess, and I'm going to brush it on the concealer at the bottom part of my brows. Now, this would prevent the concealer from moving and it will just keep it matte and in place, and it wouldn't look wet when you're trying to fill in your brows. Being the fact that you clean up your brows before filling them in, it's better to set the cream product or concealer or foundation or whatever you use to clean up the bottom part of your brows with a little bit of powder. Now I am going in with a brow pencil. This is the brow pencil from Juvia's Place in the shade dark brown. As you can see, I am just following the shape of the brow. For the top part, I don't start from the beginning of the brow. I start a little bit further, and for the bottom, as you can see, I have drawn a line that goes further than the actual beginning of my brow, and I am focusing most of the products on the ends of my brows. Now, some of you might be wondering why my brows look like this. I have them microbladed, but regardless, I feel like this routine would work for every brow type. I use this routine for my clients. I am a part-time makeup artist and I use this technique for my clients just because I feel like it's easier to locate where the sparse hairs are after you lay them down with some gel, and it's easier for you to fill the brows in. As you can see, we are having the brows looking as equal as possible, and I am just extending the line at the beginning of the brow and filling in any sparse areas. Now I like my brows thick. Maybe you might not, so fill the brows as much as you want. Now I'm making hair-like strokes at the beginning of the brows, and I am just fading that portion in so that the brows do not end up looking too thick. As you can see, we want to avoid the block eyebrows. Now this is an extra step that I like to take, but I go in with a brow pen that is dark brown, and I go in and I make hair-like strokes in my brows. You can skip this step. This is completely unnecessary, but I definitely enjoy adding this to my routine. So as you can see, I'm just making strokes in my eyebrows, and they look like little eyebrow hairs, and I think it just looks fluffier in my opinion. But just skip this step. Again, it's completely unnecessary, but I generally just enjoy doing this step. The next step, I go in with the foundation of the day. Again, I go in with just a little bit of product, and then I flatten it at the back of my hand so that I have just a little bit of product coating the brush so that it's not slipping and sliding. And as you can see, I am cleaning the top part of my brow. It just makes it look very smooth. The top just blends into the skin when you end up applying foundation. Now you can use a concealer that matches your foundation, but I just prefer to use my foundation, a little bit of foundation, not a lot, so that the product doesn't slip and slide, or your brush doesn't slip and slide, just because foundation is a little bit watery than concealer. So yeah, that's why I prefer to put the brush at the back of my hand just to flatten it out and disperse the product within the brush. I'm going back in with my fluffy brush to blend the product into the top part of my brows. Now I just go in with a little bit of the foundation on the brush, and I'm just cleaning the front part of my brows, and I am just blending in the foundation into the middle part of my brows so that they don't look harsh and I don't have the block looking brow. So this is what the brows ended up looking like. And this is what they ended up looking like at the end of my foundation routine. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.